In 2005, a 19-year-old Hajime Isayama first put pen to paper to write the concept of what would later become Attack on Titan. But I wonder if he knew that 18 years later, his work would go on to define a generation. Attack on Titan is often the show a lot of people used to introduce their friends to the world of anime, and it was no different for me, with my friends and I watching the show together over Discord during the pandemic. A lot has happened in the world and in our lives since the release of the anime 10 years ago, some for the good and some not. But one thing I'm sure nobody would change is their experience with this show, and what better character encapsulates its spirit than the devil himself.
Erwin.
先生、壁の外に人類がいないってどうやって調べたんですか？
There are few characters in anime that carry the gravitas and depth of the 13th commander of the Survey Corps, and it isn't a stretch to say that Erwin is one of the best characters in Attack on Titan. His leadership, strategic brilliance, and inherent human conflict have made him a subject of admiration among fans. His journey from a curious child inspired by his father's forbidden knowledge to the leader who would sacrifice everything for humanity's freedom is a poignant narrative of courage and conviction. Erwin's story is not just about the battle against Titans, but also about the struggle within, where the cost of dreams is often paid in blood and tears. The world may remember him as the man who reshaped history, but perhaps he'll remember the world as a place where fleeting moments of happiness propelled him forward, right until his selfless end. Sometimes a hero, sometimes a devil, but always a commander. Erwin Smith was undoubtedly the greatest leader the Scouts ever had, but he didn't embody their core principles, or rather, he did not embody them to the extent Hange did. War and conflict shape every aspect of life in Attack on Titan, where many of the characters are fueled by traditional motives. They fight for their families, their honor, and to be called heroes. But this cycle of violence, driven by the same old reasons, is leading nowhere. It's tiring. Eren isn't the only character fighting for freedom. They all are, but it seems unattainably distant. There's a need for something or someone different. Someone who doesn't just continue the cycle, but who can break it and bring about a new dawn. This is where Hange Zoe comes in. In a world overshadowed by despair and hatred, Hange was a unique presence, choosing the pursuit of knowledge over the endless cycle of revenge that ensnared so many. Their commitment to understanding, to believing in a better world, and their willingness to sacrifice for it make them an enduring symbol of hope. Hange may not have lived to see a world without war, but their legacy lives on, inspiring others to carry on the fight for a brighter tomorrow.
調査兵団に入った時から。でも、分かっているだろ？誰にだっていつかは別れる日が来るって。とてもじゃないけど、受け入れられないよ。正気を保つことさえままならない。辛いよ。分かってる。それでも前に進まなきゃいけない。飛行艇は？飛び立ったよ。ハンジ、お
お前は役目を果たした。
エルヴィン、みんな俺は人類の役に立てたでしょうか。
見ろ、リヴァイ兵士長だ。一人で一個旅団並みの戦力があるってよ。
Levi is one of the few characters that remain relatively unchanged throughout the story because he has already gone through every possible harrowing experience before his introduction. And in many ways, his ability to come out of every experience as the same person without surrendering his core ideals is the strongest aspect of his character.
Levi 兵長が
The ironic aspect of a story focusing on freedom is that the most powerful character is the biggest slave of them all, though not in the way that Kenny suggests. Levi is a slave to his power. He feels like it's his duty to fight, to honor his comrades and to help humanity. He is damned to keep fighting in a world where he won't die, but everyone he loves will. But he keeps doing it anyway, and that's what makes him humanity's strongest soldier.
俺たちを信じてくれ。
リヴァイ、ありがとう。
みんな何かに酔っ払ってねえとやってられなかったんだな。みんな何かの奴隷だった。
Despite his power, Levi can never save anyone who truly matters to him when it matters most. But he can carry their dreams forward till the end. And that's what he does. He represents strength, survival, sacrifice, selflessness, and living without regrets. Just because he's strong doesn't mean he deserves to suffer. But despite his pain, you can be damn sure he will always be there to give humanity a better chance.
長かった。エルヴィン。あの日の誓いをようやく果たせそうだ。お前たちの死には意味があった。
Perhaps there's no character who better exemplifies how Levi's strength is his greatest weakness than his Ackerman counterpart. While Kenny was not present for a remarkable amount of time, he, just like many other characters, has left a lasting impact, and his words could not ring more true come the end of the show. Humans are all the same. For some, it's drinking. For some, it's women. For some, even religion. Or maybe it's family, dreams, royalty, or children. We all had to have spent our lives drunk on something, or else we would have no reason to keep pushing on, to keep fighting, to keep moving forward. And who is a bigger slave than Reiner Braun, a man who is caught between two worlds, serving his mission as a warrior and his guilt towards his friends within the walls.
帰れない。このまま任務を続行するんだ。
俺は帰れなくなった故郷に帰る。
It's honestly quite sad how the Titan known for having impenetrable armor is used to hide one of the most fractured characters. Reiner dreamt of honor and heroism, believing that his actions would free him from the chains of his past and earn him the love of a family divided by war. But with each step, he trampled not only the people of Paradis, but also the fragile foundations of his own convictions.
俺の中にあるのはこれだけだ。
だから壁に囲まれた収容所に住んでいるんだよ。
絶対に何としてもだ。
私たちには悪魔の血が流れているからね。お前にお父さんがいないのもそのせいだ。
マーレ人になるために戦士を目指してたんだ。
In the eyes of a boy who once sought to be Marley's hero flickers a relentless flame of humanity. Reiner's journey is a harrowing testament to the cost of war, a reminder that behind the mask of the soldier, there is often a child who was never allowed to mourn, to falter, or to live. Sometimes the hardest battles we fight are against the wars within us, and the truest act of courage is to face them even when all hope seems lost. Grisha Yeager is a man torn from one revolution only to find himself at the heart of another. His life is a tapestry of loss and the relentless pursuit of a freedom he would never live to see.
何をしてる？立てよ父さん。忘れたのか？何をしにここに来たのか。
There are stark differences in the way Grisha raises Zeke and Eren. While one child was pushed against his will to become something he didn't want to be, the other was allowed to carve out his own path. But of course, it was that same child that ended up becoming the monster that would eventually end humanity.
時代においても進撃の巨人その行いが報われる日まで進み続けるのだ進み続けるんだ死んでも死んだ後も死んでも死んだ後も
It's difficult to blame a man who had his sister eaten by dogs just because she was of another race. It's difficult to blame a man who had his own child betray him. It's difficult to blame a man who saw his wife turn into a monster in front of his very eyes. But Grisha isn't faultless, and that's exactly why he is the man who started this story.
ダイナ、クルーガーに報いるために
静かだな死ぬか王家の血を引く子だきっとこの子は私たちを勝利に導いてくれるぞ
Perhaps Grisha's greatest failure was his inability to love his son, a child who embodies the antithesis of his father's dreams but is still bound to the same tragic path.
一人遅れている子がいるがあの子ジークお前がみんなを救うんだ
Zeke Yeager is tragically one of the most ironic characters in Attack on Titan. Born to a father whose dreams were as vast as the skies, Zeke's life was marked by the gravity of burdens too heavy for a child's shoulders. His existence was a chess piece in a game of liberation, a game where the lines between villain and victim were blurred into obscurity.
お前ならできる父さんと母さんの子供なんだからな親が不見派だったなんてこのままじゃ親族全員楽園送りに
始祖の巨人ならユミルの民が子供を産めなくすることもできるのかな
草葉さんキャッチボールしてくれてありがとう
Zeke had a heart that beat to the rhythm of a lullaby that was never sung, a childhood never lived, and a love never felt. The Beast Titan was a man looking to end the cycle of inherited pain, and in his quest to save his people from suffering, he became the architect of their nightmares. His legacy is as complex as the man himself, a tapestry of good intentions and grievous outcomes. Sometimes the most profound villainy comes from a place of profound pain. He is a reminder that even those who walk in darkness are worthy of empathy.
ジークが俺たちを密告するんだお前の息子だろ勝手に見放しちっとも君のことを気にかけなかった君を愛さなかったジーク君は悪くない
獣の巨人は俺が継承するマーレのためじゃない始祖奪還計画を成功させ世界を救ってみせるよ世界の人々を巨人の恐怖から解き放ちエルディア人を苦しみから解放するんだクソ坊さん見ててくれよ
サシャお前は この世界がどうなってるか考えたことはあるんか。
そんなよそもんが来て森や獲物を横取りするからやし、だから腹減る。
その人たちも住処を奪われ、仕方なくここに流れてきとる。
It's difficult to write a story focused on so much despair without any light to illuminate the darkness. And there's no brighter beacon of joy in Attack on Titan than Sasha Braus. Sasha was a reminder that the small joys are what make life worth living even amidst the chaos. She symbolized the world's lost innocence, a world where a stolen potato was once a child's greatest concern.
お前にとってそんなに難しいことなんか。
おい、大丈夫。
もしこれを外せば。おじさん。逃げられない。
It's difficult to put into words how much Sasha's death affected everyone, but there's one person who was hurt more than anyone else, and that's why Niccolo put it best. She may have been the descendant of devils, but she loved his food more than anyone else. She saved him from this god-forsaken war. She made him realize he is only himself when he is making others happy through his cooking.
そしたら北条の女に撃たれて死んだ。
Sasha's legacy is a haunting lullaby, a call to remember not just the girl who loved to eat, but the girl who taught us that even in a world brimming with horror, there is always space for love, for friendship, and for the simple pleasures of a good meal.
なんでこんな時に思い出すの。取り気が足らないいつもの日常。そんな思い出ばっかり。
In Attack on Titan, the tragic state of the world forces characters into situations where they must act against their nature to achieve something the story refuses to give them: peace, happiness, and freedom. Isayama writes the characters so well that many of them already realize that to achieve their dreams, they must do things they don't want to do, but they need to do. However, there is one character who defies this pattern and willingly becomes the exact kind of prick the story needs to achieve its intended complexity. Floch Forster stands out because he fully embraces the role of a devil, showing no hesitation when doing what is necessary. Floch's main drive is quite simple and relatable. He doesn't want his life to be meaningless, and he wants the freedom to choose what is worth dying for. The thought of leaving no impact on the world terrifies him. After witnessing the bloodshed, he understood the kind of impact he wanted to make. He desired to contribute to a significant change in the world to liberate Eldia from its nightmare. He wanted to make a difference. He embodies the idea that this story keeps highlighting, that life has meaning simply because you were born into the world. Even someone like him should have the freedom to choose how to live and die. And to defend that freedom, he did what he did. He doesn't care about being kind or open-minded. He's just a regular, vulnerable guy trying to live in a way he can be proud of. And sometimes that's all it takes to turn someone into something unrecognizable.
これが何かわかるか。自由だよ。もうお前らは戦わなくていい。好きに生きていい。俺たちはそれだけ。このエルディア帝国を救えるのはお前しかいない。エレン・イェーガー。そりゃ俺みてえな雑魚使い捨てるぐらいしか使い道もねえだろうが。そんな雑魚にだってな、寝踏みする権利くらいはあるだろう。
In a show that heavily focuses on ideological conflicts and grand narratives, Mikasa's simplicity and her struggle with personal, intimate issues offers a refreshing perspective and adds to the overall complexity of Attack on Titan. The woman many dismissed as one-dimensional is in reality a character of depth, complexity, and heart. If Armin personifies courage and is the embodiment of the human spirit, then Mikasa personifies loyalty, love, and most importantly, the strength to stand against the person she loves most for the sake of humanity. Armin has transformed from a naive, curious boy into a figurehead for humanity's survival. The boy who once only dreamed of the sea has now witnessed its vastness, only to find more enemies. His journey is a testament to the power of hope, resilience, and the human spirit. A journey that proves that one does not need to be the strongest or the most powerful to make a difference. Intelligence, courage, and a heart filled with hope can be just as potent. In a world steeped in darkness and despair, Armin shines brightly as a beacon of hope and determination. Perhaps that's why he was one of the most important characters in this story, because at its core, Attack on Titan is not just about a fight for survival, it's about the human spirit's unyielding desire for freedom. Armin Arlert is a character who proves that even in the face of unsurmountable odds, you can carve out a path to the future. A character that proves that, in the end, the human spirit is capable of unimaginable strength.
Sayonara, Eren.
Eren, どうして外に出たいんだ?
Eren Yeager is frequently touted as one of the greatest anime protagonists in history. The young boy who once gazed upon the sea with eyes full of wonder stands as the fulcrum upon which the world of Attack on Titan tilts. His path was littered with the shards of a shattered idealism, each piece a reflection of the dreams he held dear and the reality he fought against, a reality that demanded the gravest of sacrifices. As the curtain falls on Eren's story, it isn't a Titan's roar that echoes, but the silence of a boy who just wanted to see the world beyond the walls. It's a silence that speaks louder than any cry of rage or battle could. In the end, Eren Yeager is not a hero or a villain, but a human being who dared to reach for the untouchable, only to find it as out of reach as the ocean's horizon. The truest freedom he chased after was not just for himself, but for all those he left behind, in a world that might one day understand the cost of the wings he gave them. This show was unquestionably one of the greatest anime of the generation. It's difficult to put into words the effect it had on the anime community, but one thing's for sure. What started as strokes of ink on a piece of paper went on to become an art piece that redefined anime.
Characters. What's their last name? Welcome to the squad.
Hey guys, it's Sam, it's Morgan.
Well, this is Pat, Nikki, Rena.
Hey guys, group all the way back, I'm Eren.
Yeah, we back on TT.
Gang! And we're the React Pack.
And we are here with Attack on Titan.
As promised, we got some Attack on Titan.
As many of you guys recommended to watch Attack on Titan. Yes.
We have never seen it.
This is our first time watching Attack on Titan.
This imagery is insane right now.
John, no!
Whoa! It really happened! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Gabby got it! No way!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Let's go, man. For real, dog! Nah, for real!
Of course, just like with anything, there are people who dislike it, but it also has so many loyal fans, those whose lives it changed forever. So from the bottom of all our hearts, thank you, Attack on Titan.